Okay, so from what I saw, yeah, there's that yellow one. Let me see if there's any other yellows. That was the only one that offered like a single choice that was unalterable. Do I have to fight that one too? Or is it just go through it? Because if we can do that and just skip, that'd be great. Where was it? There. Okay, it's just a story thing. So... let's do. And we'll get this in the archives, and then I will move on to P3. The strike with all my strength behind it hits Minazuki, and he hunches over. I take my sword back in hand and swing it with all the power I can bring to bear. Okay, dude. Sounds like you're pooping. Minazuki's knees buckle and he falls to the ground. Or so it seems.
What?
Minazuki won't fall. He supports his trembling legs with his own arms and keeps glaring at me as he tries to ready his sword again.
I'm not done yet. Minazuki, why are you trying to grant Sho's wish? A foolish question. I awakened within this boy.
For those who weren't here, Minazuki is a plume of dusk that is, or well, a personality that formed after a plume of dusk was jammed into Sho by the Kirijo group when they were more horrible. Though he'd kept a cool head thus far, Minazuki barks his response at me. He keeps trying to stand despite his injuries, and all I can see is the strong will of someone determined to protect what's important to him. Minazuki, you still don't understand. You're just like us.
Minazuki, you are strong. You don't realize it either.
I think he's projecting a bit here, but whatever. Burden of your solitude. That's the one we didn't use before.
It's founded on your burden of solitude.
That's right. You must understand as well. I am no one. I am merely a strong consciousness which only exists here. In truth, it is you who have come here alone.
Yeah, this is different. That's not it. No one can live by severing ties with other people. The reason I'm standing here now is because everyone else supported me along the way. Why can't you see that? Do our words just not reach you at all, Minazuki?
I'll repeat it as often as necessary. I will do anything to grant this boy's wish.
Okay.
What's with this sappy drama?
And General Teddy's back.
Aha! You must be Sho-chan's Minazuki-kun. You're disqualified from the P1 climax. Time for you to make your exit!
Okay, well that's red too. And... huh. Am I missing anything else that's yellow here? I may need to look this up. That's really odd. Story time!
The death of everything, but also the beginning.
I'm guessing this is
People have filled the
Mitsuru's
world,
grandfather.
Yet turned it into a void. The
Okay.
only hope of salvation lies in ruin.
Okay, dude. You need to chill. I like your glasses, though. Can I have those?
Did you work in a zoo? Because that's one huge pile of shit you're pushing around. So,
Whoa.
how'd that turn out for you, Dad? It doesn't matter now that you're dead as a doornail, does it?
Oh, it's probably in his head.
You wanted the world destroyed,
Or is this
huh?
him actually killing him?
Isn't that right, you worthless pest? Fine. I'll do it. This shitty world with its shitty people and shitty lives will disappear, and I'll be the only thing left.
Okay.
After all, if the Father's fallen into darkness, then the sun must rise. Just kidding.
See, that makes no sense. That's why we localize, kids.
What nonsense.
Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
What?
These constructs can only remain active within my red fog. Even then, they can only do so for a limited amount of time. If you have time to waste with worthless sentiment, hurry up and complete your preparations.
Ha!
Okay.
You've got no sense of humor.
There it goes. There go the frames.
And I'll have to kill you too.
Such impudence. Take them. They are your pawns.
So here's where he gets the shadows to make the clones, I guess.
They're pretty well made. Fine, I've got the power I borrowed from you too. So now there's no way I could lose. Well then, time to make like a tree and turn over a new leaf or whatever.
And then there's good localization. Like, see, that's a good reference to an English idiom.
A puppet version of a puppet. I'll make sure you get the job done this time.
I forget if they made it clear whether he was the boss of the first one or behind the
Let's
scenes the
begin.
first one.
For the sake of his world.
Okay. We got a lot of clones here. I think that's new. Yeah, we haven't seen this background before. May 5th, afternoon. I am at the Shadow Operatives
I finished
lab.
going through Labrys's personality module and control.
I guess it's her. Or I guess I am her. Alright. No, it's not. Fuka-san's voice echoes through the machinery-filled room where she works as the operator. Seems that it'll be a little more time until she'll be finished with her work.
I knew we could count on
Okay, Akihiko. Got it.
I'm sorry that I asked
Or not.
you for such a big favor.
We'll figure out who I am
couldn't
shortly, and
possibly
I'll adjust
stand
voice.
by after something so important happened. But, is it really all right for me to be doing this? Aren't you all part of some kind of police organization now?
There's no need to be concerned. Even now that we've become the Shadow Operatives, this lab belongs solely to the Kirijo group.
Yay, we like labs. The Shadow Operatives. Special unit under the direct supervision of the National Police Agency, organized to deal with supernatural cases that the normal police would be unable to respond to. In other words, cases dealing with shadows. Why didn't you just say that? This is one of the laboratories under the management of the new Shadow Operatives. The purpose of this place is mainly to analyze evidence gathered in shadow-related cases, analysis of shadow matters for scientific understanding, and planning operations. Another objective is the maintenance, inspection, and service for anti-shadow weapons such as myself. I guess I'm Igus. Or am I Labras? Since I am a member of the Shadow Operatives and am classified as a weapon due to my mechanical nature, I periodically undergo maintenance at this facility. Directly after the inauguration of the Shadow Operatives, Mitsuru-san had a state-of-the-art packing case prepared to transport me. However, the one slumbering within this case is my sister. Okay, so I'm Igus. Okay. Gotcha. The fifth generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, and our new comrade.
I finished investigating Labrys's mobility systems. All I have to do now is reboot her OS and perform some final checks.
Thank you. How is she?
She'd sustained some heavy structural damage, so I was worried, but thankfully none were critical.
Since my sister had been forced to push herself far beyond her limit during the events of the other day, her entire body had taken serious damage. I'm glad that she's okay. Fuka-san's words caused me to sigh with relief.
I see. And what did you recover from her memory?
I'm sorry. I searched through it, but I found no records that would lead to finding the one behind what happened. If we want to pursue him any further, we'll have to wait for a report from intelligence. But it seems that will still take some time.
I see.
I see Mitsuru-san tighten her fist with that quiet utterance. Oh yeah, they did clarify that Sho was behind the first round. Or well, Hino Kagutsuchi was behind the first round. Anyway. The culprit is someone capable of manipulating the data in my sister's memory. The possibility that they would make the mistake of leaving a trace leading to themselves is extremely low. Even when one knows the outcome, people often feel indignant when the last bit of hope is crushed. It's understandable. Our ability to find out who kidnapped my sister has been completely stymied.
Then we have no clues to go on.
Don't be so hasty. We might get new leads from intelligence, right?
Ever since that attempted airplane hijacking, we've learned that the Public Safety Division has been making some disquieting moves.
I love you, Akihiko, but your outfit is
If we don't make
completely
moves,
impractical.
There's no telling what they'll do to take advantage of the situation. We have to find a lead before they do anything.
Though Akihiko-san has known Mitsuru-san for a long time, Mitsuru-san's expression remains stiff as he tries to console her. But that's only natural. The shadow operatives are still in a delicate position with regards to where we stand within the National Police Organization. As a seemingly suspicious group founded by an outsider and dealing with crimes outside the capabilities of the normal police force, we are often met with cold stares from the people who should be our fellow investigators when we're dispatched on cases. It's like a little bit of Torchwood, kinda. The logic of such actions eludes me, but I cannot pretend that they do not exist.
I understand how you feel, Mitsuru-san, but we must solve one problem at a time. That is why we have gathered here today.
You're right. I'm sorry. Please work with me here in reviewing what information we already know.
Let's review. Mitsuru-san implores us for assistance. Our gathering here at the lab today isn't just to hear about the results of Fuka-san's tests on my sister. We've come to share and review the information we have, to inspect the clues as closely as possible to get closer to the culprit as quickly as possible.
The person behind this case first stole Labris, the 5th-generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, while she was in transport.
Gotcha.
Yes. The hijacking of the airplane you were on was a diversion used to conceal the theft of my sister, after which she was transported to Inaba.
Exposition! What a show.
But we have reason to believe that their minds were under some kind of control.
Those who hijacked the airplane and transported the case had no memory of taking part in the crime. They did not recognize one another, had nothing in common, and were all ordinary citizens with no prior criminal records. They did, however, all claim in their testimonies that they saw red eyes. Though their interrogations are still ongoing, it seems that it won't be long before they are released. With all these points taken into consideration, it becomes apparent that this is no ordinary crime.
The culprit waited until he arrived in Inaba to turn Labris on and fiddle with her memory. And then he threw her into the TV world, right?
Where one's heart and memories manifest themselves. As a machine, Labris was able to control these memories in great detail. In other words, the enemy used her in order to set a trap for us.
When we entered the television world in pursuit, we defeated her shadow and made indirect contact with the
Hey, what's up,
culprit.
Chaotic Bones?
That person revealed that his goal was to
Welcome to the Persona 3 side of the Persona 4 story, which I gotta finish to finish the Persona 4 side. I'm sorry, the Persona 4 Arena Ultimax story. Looks like we're gonna get a couple more weeks out of those.
Once he'd accomplished that, he would combine them all so he could have even more power.
There's a lot of talking, though. Not so much fighting. We'll get there, though. Everyone falls silent. The mysterious person's motive was to gather and unify shadows. This is all too similar to something that those of us gathered here will never forget.
Shuji Ikutsuki.
The culprit's speech pattern is consistent with Ikutsuki-san's mannerisms.
Oh, that's
His
her
ability
grandfather.
to use a persona matches him as well.
Think.
But that's not possible. He...
That's right. We've confirmed Ikutsuki's death.
Or maybe there's someone out there besides Ikutsuki who still thinks the same way he did.
If so, then the world we
It was definitely a problem in P3. Again, I've never played P3 or P4. I've watched some people play parts of it, but I don't have that kind of time. I'm going to find that kind of time at this point. Mitsuru-san sounds as if she is in agony. Shuji Ikutsuki. 3 years ago, he became fascinated with the fall and tried to bring about the end of the world using shadows. To Mitsuru-san, he is also the adversary that robbed her of her precious father.
Yamagishi, when Labris awakens, can you give her a summary of the case from 3 years ago? I'd like her to know what went on while she was sealed.
I understand.
Can't you just stick that data into her memory?
If we did that, it would just become a piece of data to her. She needs to be told about it in order for her mind to understand what happened.
She's human through and through, huh?
Also, I noticed something when I was checking her memories. The makeup of Labris's memory field is slightly different from Igas's. Besides the memory area that she normally accesses, there seems to be a sub-network of some sort.
She has a subconscious?
She has 2 memory networks? I think it was probably used to incorporate the feedback from her sibling units, but I still don't know for sure. That's why I believe it's safer to tell her in person.
All right, I'll let you tell her however you see fit.
I'm actually kind of curious about this sub-network.
Staff to hurry and review the information, including the newly discovered quarantine server at Ergo Research. We never knew about the server in question before now, because it had been cut off.
And there's your Deus Ex Machina.
It most likely has information that normally would have never left Ergo research, such as data on top-secret experiments.
Ikutsuki-san could be involved in this case. Mitsuru-san's worry and irritation may be because she senses that possibility. We can all understand the pain she must be in.
By the way, what was the logic behind that whole midnight channel thing?
It's still unknown, but we'll have to send people to Inaba again. We're going to hold a meeting at headquarters tomorrow to discuss countermeasures.
Also, apologies for any frame drops. I've tried 3 different servers for ingest, and all of them are acting up. Twitch be twitching. This was the least worst of. Suddenly, an alarm that notifies us of abnormalities goes off and reverberates throughout the lab. Mitsuru-san quickly uses a nearby control panel to contact the staff within the facility.
What's going on?
The surveillance system detected a rise in shadow readings. It's currently stabilizing around a level 3 alert, located in that town of Inaba.
What?
Of course it is.
Looks like he's shown up already. That saves us the trouble of having to puzzle this out.
Yu-san and his friends
It's a
are
trap.
in danger.
Probably a trap.
Mitsuru-san, please give the order to dispatch us.
All right, we'll leave at once. Yamagishi, leave Lavras to Kikuno and accompany us.
I understand. Well then, I leave the rest to you, Kikuno-san.
Understood. Lady Mitsuru, everyone, please be careful.
They won't be careful enough. One of Mitsuru-san's personal domestic assistants, or should I say, maids, Kikuno-san answers. Kikuno-san and Mitsuru-san have a stronger bond than that of any ordinary servant and master, and she is another of the shadow operatives. Her words catch my attention for some reason. Please be careful. A very trivial expression of concern for our safety. Brushing it off as common courtesy would be simple, but I sense that she may be sensing something unusual regarding the situation that awaits us there. What could be causing this unease? Does Mitsuru-san know?